Okay, now that I've got my change order created, and I went offline and used Timberline estimating to get pricing for this particular change order. And I need to create an allocated and an unallocated output from Timberline, one with all the detail, and of course, one with just summary information. And any plan drawings or any detailed subcontractor quotes that you did use for your change order. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and upload all of those things because it's a good place to put them. I'm going to upload the allocated and unallocated estimates from Timberline. And I'll do the other ones as well. And what this is doing, it's attaching this to the change order, so it's a nice place to keep everything nice and filed. Upload the subcontractor information. And then finally, I'm going to put in the drawings. So now you can see in my feed, I've got all the files that I need. In addition, Salesforce also places them underneath the notes and attachments once they're fully processed. So once you refresh this, it should show up. And as you can see in Salesforce, after I've uploaded and refreshed my browser, all the attachments have shown up. And towards the bottom of the potential change order, you will see that my attachments are also available here. Okay, now that I've got my stuff here, what I'm going to do now is look at if you've done your Timberline estimate correctly, you will see if you go to the unallocated estimate, which I'm going to use here, you can pull them up by yourself in Timberline or offline, but in order to demonstrate, I'll have to pull up in Salesforce so you guys can see the actual values. But if I scroll to the last page of the estimate, it's going to have a few number components that I'm going to be interested in. The first is going to be the sales price of $4,897,112. This will be the cost, but then I have to partition to different various buckets here. So let's just keep those numbers handy here offline. And I'm just going to keep them handy here, 4,897,112, 367,95. Okay. So what I want to basically do is use these data points from the estimate and map them to the fields in Salesforce. So when you do distribute it downstream, that there's some budget maintenance that needs to be done further on down the process, these numbers can be allocated to the appropriate phase codes. So I would take these numbers and then transpose them into the change order, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Taking the numbers from these estimates and transposing them on the potential change order. So for ease of use, I will flip between the two tabs to show the differences as where you would map the number from the unallocated estimate into the change order. So for my labor amount, it's going to be $867,000, $248,000. And I'm going to switch over to the potential change order and then key that in. Okay, so now I'm in my potential change order. I click on new change order line, and a couple of things I'm going to key in right off the bat. The first will be the price. We said that the price was $4,897,112. Sales price of your change order. And we did talk about the labor component that I got from the previous value. And you're basically going to map labor to labor, equipment to equipment, material to material. So I'll go ahead and key in the labor component here as well. And if we looked at the previous tab, it was $867,248. So what I'm going to do is going to go down the different components between the unallocated quote and map them to the various components here, equipment to equipment, material to material, subcontractor to subcontractor, Team B, overhead, and other. So let me go ahead and do that now. Here to get all the information that I need for the potential change order. So basically it's transposition. A couple things to note on the timberline estimate. Your overhead, as you can see, is pretty much overhead, so that'll go into your overhead bucket. Your sales tax will go into T&B, and the other components will go to T&B as well. So just make sure that you map those correctly. It helps you downstream on your budget maintenance. So let me go ahead and just fast forward after keying all this stuff in, and I'll see what a completed one looks like in just a second. And finally, my units. Okay, now I got everything done. I basically sort of did a high-level summary and breakdown of my change order. I'll go back, and it is going to fill in the labor, material, subcontractor, equipment, T&B total. Puts in a lot of nice information, itemizes the change order to get all the information that we need, and that's it. So at this point, you've created your change order, you've put the information from Timberline, transposed it into the change order in Salesforce, and you've pretty much priced the change order. And now to progress the change order to the next step, there's a few things that we need to do. First thing that we need to do is to check all the flags that say that we have attached all the things that are needed. So in this case, I'm letting the regional manager know that I've attached my unallocated, my allocated estimate. I've done my takeoff plans attached, and my detailed subcontracting has also been attached as well. So I'm basically documenting that I've put all the information in a nice, neat package for review. Because it's over a particular dollar threshold, the next thing I need to do is to progress the change order. And I simply do that by selecting the change order status from needs pricing to priced. What that'll do next is it'll take all this information, and because of the size of the change order, it'll submit it to the regional manager. At this point, you're going to have to wait for them to respond to you, and that'll be handled in the next lesson. But up to this point, you have done all you need to do to compile the necessary pricing information, documentation, and support required for a successful change order.